Serbian President Vucic. The world is on the verge of a major conflict in 3-4 months. Location: Belgrade, Serbia. At a time when global geopolitical tensions are increasing, Serbian President Aleksandar Vucic warned that tensions around the world could turn into a major conflict within 3 or 4 months. Vucic stated that the disputes between Russia and the West cannot be resolved, and this could trigger a potential conflict. What do you say, Mr. President? Is it possible that the world has forgotten the pain of the Second World War and is experiencing such mental lapses? Aren't the pains, losses and deaths enough? Can country leaders make such inaccurate statements at the president's level? Could the world be pushed into conflict? Global warming and carbon emissions are talked about every day. Can the world handle the detonation of bombs? Could the country's leaders be so mentally deranged? While they should be supporting peace and bringing prosperity to their people, can they be sitting in their comfortable seats, so detached from the reality of the people on the street outside that they lack the wisdom to promise them death? Have the sufferings of World War II been erased or engraved in memories? Wasn't that pain enough? What can't you share? What is your purpose? Who do you leaders serve? People with sick souls who are planning war and death must be enlightened and stopped. This is true for all leaders. Peace is absolute. Everyone has the right. Peace, always. While the world has many problems, contemplating death is a sick state of mind. Think about solutions to the world's problems, especially global warming. I cannot talk about the Third World War, but I am talking about the possibility of a major conflict, President Vucic said in an interview with the Swiss magazine Die Weltwoche. Vucic added that if world leaders do not take urgent action, we may see the bitter end of what happened in Ukraine. These statements of Vucic gained even more importance with the large-scale invasion that Russia launched into Ukraine in February 2022. The fact that the clashes were mainly focused on the south and east of the Ukrainian army, which stopped Russia's advance, further increased the tensions between the Kremlin and the West. In his statement last Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin stated that if Ukraine begins to withdraw its troops from the 4 occupied regions and abandons its plans to join NATO, he will immediately order a ceasefire in Ukraine and begin negotiations. However, NATO and the Kiev government called Putin's offer nonsense and condemned the Russian leader's statements. The international community is on edge in the face of these developments. President Vucic's warnings reveal that world leaders and policymakers need to think seriously about possible scenarios in the coming months. These striking assessments of the Serbian leader may indicate a new era in efforts to ensure peace and stability around the world. With the spectrum of past wars casting long shadows over current international relations, President Vucic's poignant reflections and dire warnings underscore the critical crossroads at which the world stands today. It is a moment that calls for wisdom, dialogue, and above all, a steadfast commitment to peace and prosperity for all nations. This pivotal time in history challenges global leaders to forge paths towards reconciliation and stability, avoiding the tragic lessons taught by wars of the past.